Yo, it's David Corey and Mono Block. Let's kick it to the world. Fuma like Run like you're born to fly. Live like you'll never die. Dare what you dare to dream. And everything in between. We are drawn by the rhythms that beat through our hearts. When we all come together, we're 7 billion stars. The world is ours. 7 billion stars. The world is ours. Light up the world, light up the world. Sing out your battle cry. Under the stage and sky, oceans and land divide. United we feel inside. You can stand on my shoulders and raise up your arms. When we all come together, we light up the dark. The world is ours. 7 billion stars. The world is ours. Light up the world, everybody. Light up the world, todo. Light up the world, everybody. Brabatuka, brabatuka,
Well, it's a sad day for Ghana's Black Stars. The team crashed out of the 2014 FIFA World Cup, despite earning the respect of many football fans across the globe with their performance against Germany. But it's sad, but that's a reality. Ghana's Black Stars are out. Africa's lackluster performance at the Mondial continues. Good evening and welcome. My name is Yemi Adebayo. It gives us so much pleasure to be here on a Thursday night to take you on a trip across the world of sports. I'm not here alone on this Thursday. Let me quickly introduce my partners on the show to you. Well, sitting right next to me, Femi Adefeso, usual face on Thursday, usually comes and discuss basketball. But Femi is a well-rounded guy. So let me welcome you, Femi. You're going to be talking football, not just basketball.
Yeah, it's the World Cup fever is in the air, so I think I caught some too. So we have to talk football, irrespective of the basketball.
Yeah. And Dunodi as well has been keeping tabs on all the games that have been played and all the other angles apart from the football on the field.
Well, Yemi, good evening. Quite unfortunate. One of Africa's greatest hopes. I don't want to. I'm not. So I want. For now, I'm a Ghanaian.
Okay. Let me give you a quick rundown before we go on break. Let me give you a quick rundown of all the things we're going to be looking at today. Of course, we're going to be talking about the results, the consequence of the results, the group standings, and look at some of the teams that have qualified and who will be their second round opponents. Of course, we'll look at Ghana. Before the match, 2 players were sent home. What were the reasons? And we'll look at whether or not those things affected the players in the game against Portugal. And of course, we'll look at the man in the eye of the storm, Luis Suarez. A decision has been made. We'll look at that. The punishment has been given out. We'll look at Luis Suarez. Of course, we expect at some point to be joined by VOA correspondent Sonny Young. Is going to fill us in with what is happening in the NBA. Of course, the NBA draft is another thing the whole world is watching, even though the FIFA 2014 World Cup, it's what everybody is looking at. Some sparing some thought for the NBA draft. We'll look at all of that, and of course, we'll go courtside. It's Thursday. We'll go courtside. We'll talk basketball here on the show tonight. Well, before we go on that break, let me quickly tell you that the last group games in Group H is currently going on. 3 African teams have crashed out. Nigeria is in the second round, but of course, Africa's older representative, we're talking about Algeria, is playing. And after 6 minutes of football, it's Algeria nil, Russia nil. And in the other game, it's South Korea nil, Belgium nil. Of course, that's goalless in all the games. If it stays this way, Nigeria will not be the only African team in the second round of the 2014 World Cup. But we'll go on that break to catch our breath. When we come back, we'll go straight into all that we have lined up for your viewing pleasure tonight. Join us again. Well, guys, I guess I spoke too soon, and sad one, Nadi. Russia just spoiled the party for us. So you get a confirmation of the result. I'm very sure it's going to come up on your screen soon. The game between Russia and Nigeria. Well, the Russians are a goal up in the 7 minutes of the game. Well, but Nadi, there's still a lot of time, and the 3 minutes. Yeah, that's a confirmation. The 3 minutes of football left.
I don't envy Algeria at this time. The same way I spoke about the Ivorian game against Greece. They scored for so early in the game, and they dragged the game on to the second half before they equalized, dragged on to into injury time, and they got the winning goal, and that actually ended one of Africa's biggest favorites at the World Cup, because a lot of people will say the Ivorians had the better chances than Nigeria. They rated them better because of the quality of players. But the Algerians, again, under pressure. Because what the Russians need in this game is just to get a victory. And after a victory, they are through to the next round. Algerians just need just two options: win this game or you draw. And going by the performance against Korea, 4-2, fantastic, emphatic.
The draw should be enough.
Free scoring side,
yeah.
They look, but I don't know, at this crucial moment, and the Russians are ahead. I hope it's not going to be, because like somebody posted on Twitter that Algeria will make it, should complete the rear, because Nigeria has qualified, one of the teams with rear. Algeria should complete the rear, so that we have a wonderful rear, a rear combination, so that we don't put pressure on Nigeria. Because once it's only Nigeria, then the hopes. And we know what it means when you have just
our shoulder may not be broad enough to carry the body, the expectation of the African continent. So we want someone else to share the body, and hopefully Algeria will do that. But Femi, the negative stats that people will throw at you, most times when more than one African team goes to the World Cup, I've not seen a situation where two teams make it out of the group stage. I can't remember the last time that happened.
Yeah, but so, this year could be different. I think Algeria has what it takes, to get that. There's still a lot of time to play. Let's not forget, it's just about 10 minutes gone. Yeah. And the second half is still there. So Algeria still have everything to play for, and I like the way they played, in this tournament. So I think they can still get something out of it. They just need a draw, like Noji said, and I think they can get that draw. But however, if you look at Nigeria, I think we are in good position. Although we might say we want to play France, a very formidable, team in the World Cup so far. But we've had a good omen against European teams. All our victories in the World Cup has been against European teams. So perhaps we shouldn't worry too much. I think we did pretty well against Argentina. Okay. It surprised a whole lot of us. All right. And I'm expecting a better performance against France. So I'm not scared. I'm not worried. I think Nigeria can pull a lot of surprises in this World Cup, and perhaps it might be our turn to do the fairy tale run to maybe the semi-finals. Well,
Femi's already looking ahead, but we'll still stay with our African brothers. Let's look at how it stands in Group H after day 2. This is day 3, and the Algerians are already behind. But how it stands after 2 sets of matches, Algeria in second position.
After Belgium.
But if it stays this way, the Russians will take their position, and that would mean that the Algerians will go out. But like Femi said, still a lot left in this game, and we're hoping that the Algerians will do business on the night and do what is necessary to get the results. But like I said earlier, Algeria in second position. Belgium, nobody can touch them. They're through to the next round of the competition, and we just wish our African brothers the best of luck. Let's move away from there, and let's take a look at today's results. Let's do that quickly. Femi, let me come to you before I get to Nodi because he has a lot of interesting angles to what happened today. But quickly, did you see this coming? I thought the Portuguese were a bit demoralized. I was looking at their faces before they came to the field. It didn't look like they were going to offer much. But Ghana, the first John Boye own goal and Cristiano Ronaldo goal, and everything just went from bad to worse.
Portugal going to this game had a point to prove. The fact that Cristiano Ronaldo is on that team, he's the world best player, and he was expected to give a very fantastic performance. However, he's been a bit lackluster, but you could accept the fact that he's injured.
Yeah.
So that's enough excuse, to see
and
why
he's not
he's
a
not
machine.
played.
He's delivered.
The other day he came out to the press and said he was disappointed in his team, that they were not playing, as much as he expected. So I knew they would be going all out for a win. They won't want to go out because they knew they were out already. However, for Ghana, it was a tough group, in the beginning.
We knew it was always going to be tough.
It was a tough group, but they did so well. I think, though they didn't qualify, but I think we should give them, a kudos and a round of applause if we can, because I think they did well. The game against Germany, oh my word, I think that was where they lost it. They had every chance to win that game. And Jordan Ayew just made that cross to go and ask someone again. Perhaps we'll be singing a different song.
Yeah, but in football, ifs and what if doesn't count. But let me go to Nodi quickly. The other result, when we saw this, when it was 1-1, we thought, fine, the Germans are doing the Ghanaians a favor. But it just turns out that it didn't count for anything.
If the game had ended, let's assume that result is to reverse. Ghana would have gone through.
Yeah.
But they had an opportunity. When the game was 1-1, there was this opportunity by Mubarak Wakaso. 1-1. I think it was like 2 to beat 3. If they have given the ball to Asama Graham, I think that almost resulted into a verbal war between him and Asama Graham. I think the Ghanaians should just look at the performance first against Germany. Are they working as a team? Are they working? Is there any individual award to be given for any player if you do so and so, or show so and so skills? They should have done much better. They played very well against the.
As a matter of fact, I think they played well.
They played well. They played well, but we saw what could have given them an opportunity of getting to the next one. We saw that against Germany, we could have had that opportunity. Against Portugal, the same kind of
Even
performance, but quite unfortunate.
Yeah.
They crashed out in this manner, and I hope
they could still.
They still have this. They still
have
this
they could still leave the
2014
Mundial
World Cup.
Yeah.
But they could still leave the Mundial with their heads high.
Yeah, with some
just
sort of pride.
Point.
The way they perform. But Femi, quickly, to me, might be my opinion. I might be wrong, but I think they've been let down with by their defense and a lot of schoolboy errors. In spite of the fact that those guys work hard, Jonathan Mensah and Boye, I must give them Quadra on the left as well. Daniel Opare when he played, and the other guy full when he played. But most of the goals they've considered set pieces. We saw today's own goal. That momentary loss of concentration and schoolboy errors, I think, is what has led them. Donodi has pointed out the fact that some of these individual players tend to want to take the shine off the others, and that has punished Ghana. But then again, if the defense had not leaked in those goals, maybe.
I think at every point in time, the defense will always cave. There's always going to be a momentary lack of concentration. But I think I want to stand by Nodi, what he said about the players not playing together as a team. I think everybody was going for glory. He wanted to be the headliner, in the next morning's newspaper. I think that's what happened to Ghana, because their defense did pretty well against Germany. They were very compact. Yes, every other team, if you go through all the matches in the World Cup, you will see those errors committed by defenses, over and over and over. It happens, but when your attack is able to score, it's the same thing with even Brazil. Brazil is playing well, but they are conceding goals. As
long as you outscore your opponent, it probably won't matter.
But Adibin, they took their own chances as well. They won't be saying this. Won't be saying this. So I think it's